Okay, in this video, I want to show copy to gem. And this function takes an object and you can associate that object with one gem, and then the relationship of that gem will copy the object to all the other gems. Okay, well, that's about it. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. I don't even know if I understood that. So, okay, so that's exactly what it does though. Now, back in the day, what we used to do is we would have a gem, and let's make this 1.5 because that's what these are, 1.5 millimeters. And you could work down here at F4, and you might have a base gem that is 10 by 10, and that was your gem that you built everything against, and then it would scale it up to these other gems. And so you had to work really big on this huge base gem. I think we called it show the guide gem. Okay, well, having said that, the idea was that you could make some object. I'm just going to make a cylinder, okay? And let's just go here, and you could go here and put this thing up there, and then you could go and grab the you could select the base gem and then the object and then the gems it was going up to. So we can do that here, and so we go to gems and we go to copy to gems, and it says, hey, what's the base gem? This is the base gem or the guide gem. Select the gems to copy to. We can select all of these, and then press enter, and then select the object to copy. And did you want to scale it to the gems, yes or no? They're the same size, so it doesn't really matter, but I usually leave it on yes. And up they go. Now, back in the day, if you wanted to change this, you could come over here and change it, but you had to delete these and rerun it and rerun it. But now, in Joule Beetle, we can come over here and we have history, and so we can change this and do this and scale, this, and that's pretty cool. But you also don't have to work down here at the base either. Okay, so let's get rid of these. And so I have this cutter that I made up here, and I'm going to bring this over and come down here, and I want to scale this. I want this cutter to kind of come down in here, and I'm going to sub-select the back of this. So if you don't know what that is, that's Control and Shift to select that, and then I'm going to make that smaller. And let's go ahead and do this. So I could have cooking showed this where I had this already lined up, but I thought it would be fun to just kind of sit and mess around with this and get this cutter set up the way that I want it. And so you can work right up here, right on the model, and get that the way we want it. And I don't know, that should be pretty good. Maybe we'll sub-select this again and maybe move it up a little. Okay, so now just as a test, I'm going to go ahead and take this and Boolean with this object, and there's my cut. And looks like I was a little aggressive right back here, so we'll go ahead and move this out a little bit, but other than that, I think we're good to go. So The cool thing is that you can just run this builder again. So let's go back to gems and let's go to this. And the base gem is hiding away right there. And then the gems to copy to are the rest of them. And you notice when I right click this, it doesn't bother selecting that because it knows it's the base gem. So enter, and then the object to copy is right here. And again, same size gem, but we can leave it on yes. And around they go. And then we can say you get cut by, and then we right click all these, and there's that cut. Okay, now in looking at this, one thing that I notice is that I kind of wish, you know, the relationship of this prong with the gems is good. I want a little more metal over these gems. Honestly, I think it's fine, but I'm just making stuff up for the video. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this. Okay, so I'm just going to type ungroup, even though we have a button for that. And this is my prong that I want to make a little bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and scale that up, and I'm going to hold down Control and get this gumball like so, and I'm going to move that down. So there's my larger prong. Okay, so ideally I would nuke all these outside ones, and you know, by the time I do something else, I can hear people going, "Oh, you should grab it this way or this way." But I got an extra one there, no extra charge. But this kind of tends to give me purpose too. You know, I'm sitting here. Okay, that one. All right, so there's my one larger prong. So again, we can do the same thing. We can say, okay, I'm just going to go up here to the command history, select the base gem, it's this one, and select gems to copy to, all the rest of you. And then we pick this one, and around they go. And so copy to gem is really pretty powerful. You can build a lot of stuff pretty quickly just by setting up one gem, even if it's up on the section that you want to work on. And there's an example of how that works. Okay, so here's another example, and I've got this ring here, and I need to get some prongs on these gems. And I've got some prongs here that I did with Prong Builder, and they're kind of just sitting there, and I want to work on some of these. So what I'm going to do is, you know, at this point, Joule Beetle is still in the beta stages, almost alpha, and so you know, eventually we'll have other tools to put prongs on this, but this is still a viable way to go. So I'm going to combine a couple tools here while I'm showing copy to gem, and I'm also going to use the gem view button. Okay, so I'm going to click this gem and click gem view, and that's going to spin the viewports around so that I'm working looking at this gem only. And I'm going to ungroup this, so I'm just going to type UNG and hit enter. And so I'm going to get this laid out. I don't actually need this prong. And let me shade this view here so that we can see what's going on. And I'm simply going to move this prong here and this prong over here and put this prong here. And then what we can do, let me tweak this one just a little. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, let's get those gems over on these. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to gem and copy to gem. And the base gem, of course, is here. And the gems to copy to are this one, and this one. Okay. And then we'll say enter, and the objects to copy are here, here, and here. Okay. And I'm going to leave it on yes and just hit enter, and there they go. They're copied up here, but we still have history. So these are pretty aggressive prongs, if you want to say that. So let's move those down. And a lot of times this natural rounded over part, I go ahead and put that flat spot at the table. And that seems to be pretty good. So there's that. And so we're working flat over here, but sending the prongs around this way. And we can just keep working on this. So let's run this again. And let's go ahead and say this is the base gem. And this is the gems to copy to. But I'm just going to do the one. And then I'm going to do these prongs and send them over to that one. And I'm going to put scale on. So now those are a little smaller. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run this builder again, the gem view, and it's like, hey, pick a different gem. And then it'll jump over to this gem. Okay. And then I can take and move these. And so this is just a way with the tools that we have right now, and it's not a bad workflow anyway, honestly. So now I'm going to say, okay, well, we can pre-select it or not, doesn't matter, but let's click this builder. The base gem is here, and the gems to copy to are, of course, these ones here. And the objects to copy are here, and enter and go. So there we're just starting to populate this thing with prongs, and we could just kind of keep going and put them here and put them here, and I think you get the idea. So there's another way with history, and what's fun is this is the base one. So if we come over here and we still want to tweak it, if we move this up or down, of course, it's going to support history, and all those will move with it. And the cool thing is, because I moved these, if I move this one, then those won't update, just these other copies, because the history was broken, but then applied around the other gems. So hopefully that makes sense. But there you go. There's another use of copy to gem. All right.